Hello, sweethearts. I'm Freezing Inferno, and welcome to another Doctor Who review. I've been joined by everyone's favorite Moffat liker, former Moffat hater, Kat.
Hi! That's all you get.
Hi. What are we going to talk about today?
Today we're talking about The Time and the Ronnie, which first finally got me to watch some classic Doctor Who, so...
Wait. Hold the fuck. Time and the Ronnie. You've got it wrong, guys.
Oh shit, he got free.
Wait a minute. I thought you were fired. What the
No.
hell's going on
I
here?
only find myself as the host. I didn't
Oh.
find myself on the show outright. If it's good enough for Seb Blatt at the head of FIFA, it's good enough for me. Anyway, what are we talking about?
Does that mean you're going to chug a Bud Light Lime live on the air?
That would be John Oliver, but no. So
Okay, wrong.
I think what you meant
Wait,
to
you're not
say-
John Oliver?
I think what you meant to say was we're talking about the girl who died.
Oh, the girl who died. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I mixed up the titles here. Ah, shit. I had the wrong DVD here. Hang on. There we go. Okay. Hello, everybody. Freezing Inferno, joined by Kat and Rainiac, and we're going to talk about the Doctor Who episode, The Girl Who Died.
There we go.
It
Yes.
was brilliant. Okay, we're done.
Yes, I'm just going to lay it out right here. Spoiler warning, there are going to be spoilers, but also spoiler warning for how I felt about this episode. I think this was the best episode of Series 9 so far. I don't know how y'all felt about it.
Loved it.
Agreed. Ooh, well, good. So let's talk about that intro a little. It was another cold open, but it didn't spell out what was going to happen at the end of the episode, so that's a plus. Why, no, I'm not bitter about Before the Flood. Well, what are you talking about?
Yeah, this
I will
cold
say it
open-
was weird.
This cold open was very different to the ones we've had, where it was certainly last week, where it was the Beethoven thing. Let's not get started on that again.
Ugh.
Only this show could go from Clara about to asphyxiate in deep space to Viking raids in a matter of moments.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice little in medias red sort of thing. In medias res, not red. I can Latin, everybody. It's an in medias res sort
I
of
knew
thing.
what you
It's
meant,
just
it's fine.
It's
I
fine.
will say it's kind of funny. The episode begins with them telling us, telling us that she's in trouble, telling us that there's something inside of her suit. They never actually show what's inside her suit, but the Doctor still kills it, technically off screen. But at the end, everything is shown to us rather than told to us, and that's how we get the emotional impact of what's happening to this one character at the end. So it's kind of a weird.
So are you saying that
It's
the
kind of a
opening the
weird
episode-
mirror.
Yes! Are you saying the episode opening is a mirror of the episode's ending? Oh my gosh! How about that?
I knew it was a bad idea putting you in charge.
Oh, come on! What's wrong with having a third-rate Jane Campbell in charge?
You said it, not me.
I said no. But the intro, we also should mention the moment which had a certain very vocal section of Doctor Who fandom laughing and dancing on the fresh dirt.
Mostly Kuchiri.
I could hear him. I could hear him cheering from the comfort of my own living room.
Yeah, as soon as I saw this moment, I immediately pictured the old Simpsons bit in the head where Homer's in like the devil suit dancing on good Homer's grave going, "I am evil Homer, I am evil Homer." So yeah, it was a funny moment, to be fair. The Doctor, when faced with a bunch of Vikings, throws on his sunglasses and says, "This is more advanced technology than anything you've got." To which the Viking replies by grabbing the sunglasses off of his face and snapping them in half.
Which is
So-
exactly how they should have gone out.
Okay, that's funny. But on the other hand, I'm like, are you guys happy now? Are you happy the Doctor can wave around his magic dick wand again now? There.
My only
No.
complaint is that it's some random Viking who, spoilers, dies a couple of minutes later and is like not important at all.
Further spoilers, dies horribly a couple of minutes later.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
dear.
really
There's
creepy.
been some brutal deaths in this series.
There have been a lot of brutal deaths
The
and
flamethrower, the Dalek being pulped from inside out, and now this guy.
Oof.
hmm
This ain't your kid's show no more.
Well, it is being
but-
shown at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
At least in the UK.
Yeah, same here.
They
Being shown at
show
9.
they show it at 10:30 in here in Newfoundland, which is 9 EST. So same thing. Yeah. But the Sonic sunglasses get wrecked. Although the half of the Sonic sunglasses still get used for a couple of things in the episode, but they've been snapped. I don't know if they're going to come back or not. Maybe the Doctor will wave around the Sonic screwdriver again.
Wait, hang on. Rainiac has something for this. Rainiac, they got wrecked.
Oh, yes. Thank you for playing me in there. I'm sorry, Kat. Did you say they got wrecked?
Yeah, I did.
There we go.
I don't believe this.
You can't believe I've done this.
I can't believe you've done this.
Well,
You're
that's
welcome.
A cold open. I'll try and get us back on top.
I mean, come on. This is coming from you, really? I mean, there's only one man I'd expect to do this kind of shit.
And his name is John C.
But that's the end of our cold open. The only other significant thing is a line that could be actually very significant given the ending. It's okay to make ripples, but not tidal waves.
That's a thematic thing that'll come up. Yeah, so, the Doctor not allowed to meddle with time. It does sort of tie into last week where he's all like, "Oh, I can't change this and that because this is web of time, predestination." So, but that's been in a lot of Doctor Who, a lot of good Doctor Who, rather than just terrible Doctor Who that we shouldn't talk about anymore. So, let's move on to the Doctor, why don't we?
Oh, let's do that. Magnificent form here.
Pulled out his acting chops for this one. I don't know if we're not going to mention the big bit yet. But,
Not till the end, no.
Yeah, not till the end. But in general, he's pretty good at what he does. I mean, the intro bit where he's trying to bluster his way out of capture by claiming to be Odin and hucking a yo-yo at Vikings. That's something.
That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not know the form of Odin,
He
yo-yo?
definitely had a lot of energy.
It's great.
I just love how Clara is just like, okay, we're going to use the yo-yo, right? It's like, this is a thing that he does, and it works.
He has used the yo-yo before.
That's become a thing.
Probably the only good thing to come out of Kill the Moon.
Well, the last Clara
Fred,
speech.
don't you start.
Probably the only good thing to come out of Kill the Moon. Let's move on.
The last Clara speech. I'll dispute.
All right, yes, you have a point there.
Okay. Anything else is really debatable, and we're not going to get into it. But okay.
But I do think you raise a good point. I think Peter Capaldi is in magnificent form here. He's able to go from lightheartedness to serious and profound almost on a switch.
Yeah, and he really does hit the serious and profound once we get to the main crux of the episode here, which is trying to save a bunch of people and not really knowing how the hell he's going to do it.
Yeah, and I love the way, again, that changes. So originally he's his typical pragmatic self and saying, your best advice, your only advice you're getting is to run. And they reject that because they're Vikings and they want to go down with honour, as you do when you're Vikings.
Which I think even the Vikings back then would have been like, okay, we can't win this. We should probably just go.
Well, they're not the Vikings. The actual Viking warriors get slaughtered within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm saying as a community, they should realize, hey, we're in over our heads. If we want to continue being Vikings and existing, we should probably live. And
I mean,
go
the entire problem of the episode basically comes to one Viking saying, "We're fucking Vikings. We're the shit. Bring it."
Yeah, basically.
So, yeah, the fact that they won't back down, and the person who says that is not a Viking warrior. It's a Viking. She's a Viking peasant, basically. I guess
It's not her that says it. It's Chuckles.
No. I meant like a shielder.
Yeah, Shielder says it as well, but Chuckles is the first to say it because he gets the "We Are Vikings" line that gets roared from the trailer.
Yeah, there you go.
And the whole concept of a noble death is a death with honor, or a death in battle is a death with honor. And he's like, your deaths, I will mourn your deaths, which will be painful and without honor. And he just walks away. Brilliant.
And then he decides to help because baby.
Yeah, we've got the return of the I Speak Baby gag.
Except it's actually like more emotional here than just silly jokes about, oh, the baby wants to take over the world. I mean, I love the laughter in closing time.
Well, it's certainly in A Good Man Goes to War and Closing Time. It's played for laughs, isn't it? Mostly.
Mm-hmm.
This one is definitely played for the emotion.
Oh yeah, the idea of a child interpreting laughter as singing—that's beautiful.
And this is something that the episode does in a far more magnificent form later. Is it takes a bit of nostalgic nonsense from otherwhere in Doctor Who, and it actually makes it resonate with the emotional core of this episode, and makes it work.
Yeah.
The fact that Mathieson not only pulls this trick twice, and yeah, it's Jamie Mathieson who wrote this, person who wrote Mummy on the Orient Express and Flatline, I do believe, which both have a legitimate claim to being best episode of series not 8, if not top 3.
Well, you did say this was the best episode of Series 9 so far, and I agree with you.
Oh, yeah, so Matheson's 3 for 3 now. I mean, Series 8, I definitely would put... Flatline is definitely in my top 3. Mummy might squeeze in at number 3, because I really did love Listen a lot. So probably go Listen, Flatline, Mummy. Did I say that in the Series 8 wrap-up?
You did.
Listen, Flatline, Mummy?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't changed that opinion on the rewatch.
And I said Mummy, Flatline, and I think Time Heist.
Okay, that's
And I think
fair.
I've changed my mind again on that number 3 spot, but it's not about Series 8. We're fine.
Yeah, it's fine. We're
good. We're good.
We're good. So the Doctor, he spends the episode without a TARDIS or a sonic device, and he's got to come up with some sort of plan to save these people, and he thinks it's hopeless. He gets some good emotional scenes with Clara, who we'll get into in a bit. And then he finds the answer to the episode and solves everything in a really creative way. And that's part of the last 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, we can conclude that in the last 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I will gush about that in due time.
I do like in that scene, though, where he seems to channel his inner Tom Baker.
Does he?
It is a doozy.
A doozy. Well, he also did that in Mummy.
He did, and it was intentional because he was eating jelly babies out of a cigar case.
Yeah, and he did the Tom Baker. Well, of course, Capaldi would do the Tom Baker voice because Capaldi grew up a classic Doctor Who fan, and in fact, there exists, frankly, terrifying drawing of Tom Baker that Capaldi drew when he was like 12.
Yeah,
that you can Google if you like.
We've pointed out he was a fan already.
Oh yes, that's great. Yeah, to be a fan, like a 10-year-old fan during like the Pertwee Baker years must have been a jam.
Absolutely.
A godsend, believe me.
2 more quick points I'd like to make about the Doctor before we move on, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
The scene where he is naming different Vikings, so you're Heidi, you're Lofty, you're Limpy, you're ZZ Top.
that's definitely some Capaldi stuff right there. He doesn't really.
Yeah.
I especially love that every time he named one of them, you could see where the names were coming from. Like Heidi had 2 braids in his beard that were very much like the pigtails that Heidi would wear.
Noggin the Nog as well.
Noggin the Nog.
That's a reference to an old, I think it's a British show, possibly. I might be thinking of Will o' the Wisp, but anyway. But the best part of that is like, right, we move on to the real swords now. They just cuts away to the village on fire.
Beautiful.
And then Clara gets this great explanation, like, yeah, well, this happened, then you saw the blood, you passed out like you just did now. But the first time you did it, you set fire to a bale of hay.
That reminds me of another line that Capaldi has when he's talking to Clara. Heidi faints at the mention of blood now rather than the sight of it, so he's improved that phobia.
The comedy of this episode was great. I know Kachiri didn't like it.
What? Kachiri doesn't like lighthearted fun in Doctor Who? What?
I know, right? Shock of the year, but...
next year, you're going to tell me he doesn't like there being plot holes.
It was mostly because he'd seen it before in things like Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Next year, you're telling me that he doesn't love a harmless pair of sunglasses.
Oh my god! Can we please move on to Clara?
What's wrong with Robin Hood Men in Tights? It's a good movie. Yes, let's move on to Clara. Can I gush a little about Clara?
Please do.
Of course.
Thank you, Jamie Mathieson. Thank you. Because you made Clara do things that resonated well with the episode and had her acting doctor-ish and taking charge and initiative for the first time since The Magician's Bloody Apprentice. Thank you. You have no idea how much I miss this. This is all I ask of my Doctor Who. In fact, that's why I was yelling with Kat as we were watching, as it was airing. I was pretty much just yelling, "Thank you. This is all I ask for in my Doctor Who. Clara being competent."
Clara doing stuff.
Well, I could say that after that, Clara really doesn't do all that much other than get some nice emotional beats with the Doctor, but that's fine, I guess. But the mere fact that she did something so radical in the opening bit made up for enough. It's the drought of having Clara do stuff that hurts so much that just this little bit is enough to make me
It's not
rage.
even just the fact that she did stuff. It's the fact that she almost got exactly what she wanted.
Oh,
but somebody
yeah,
else
absolutely.
screwed it up for her.
And
She nearly got them to just go away and leave, but no, Maisie had to step in and fuck everything up.
No, here's the thing I read somewhere, I think on Something Awful, like, and I know this is going to sound crazy, they made this point, not me, that Clara is acting really quite a lot like Capaldi in this one. Because think of it from a Shielder's perspective. All her Viking warrior friends just basically died, and now she's hearing about how Odin is drinking them.
Oh my god!
Here's Clara trying to solve everything while the Shielder's quite obviously very emotionally stressed, and Clara's just like, "Hush, I'm trying to fix everything." It's a very Capaldi thing, a thing that Capaldi would do, just telling you to shut up because I'm trying to fix everything. And Clara really does almost fix everything. She just takes the initiative. She explains logically why Odin should be afraid of her because, well, she's got a spacesuit and she's got advanced technology and they're afraid. And she gets that amazing line, that retort where Odin's just like, "What help me out here. What is a farm to a thing? You know what I'm talking about."
What is a god to? But what is a god? What is a farm? But a word, Kettle's word for farmer or something. What is the?
What is heaven but an abattoir?
Yeah, the gilded gets to the abattoir.
Yeah. To which Clara just simply replies, "You're not a god. You're a thief caught in the act."
Badass.
Hot damn.
I'd play that sound clip again, but I think I already broke the microphone the first time, so I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
Can I get a counterpoint to this, though, just briefly?
Go ahead.
She does show true bravery here, and it's brilliant to see her actually do things, proactively do things. She could have just followed the Doctor's lead and do nothing, like he was suggesting. She runs to a shielder and gets chosen, has purposely chosen. This shows she's got a thirst for adventure, perhaps to an unhealthy level of thirst for adventure. But, think about it, if she had succeeded and the Maya had left, what would have happened?
We wouldn't have had an episode.
Well, that too, but they'd have moved somewhere else, they would have harvested another group of people, they wouldn't have had the Doctor and Clara to save them, so they'd have been killed, and so on and so forth, and it would have continued. As the 11th Doctor once said about the Atraxi, leaving's good, not ever coming back is better.
That's true, I suppose.
So I don't doubt that Clara's intentions are good here, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
She's a mirror of the Doctor. She's not.
There we go. You see, I've set you up for a miracle comparison. Yeah. She is becoming more and more like the Doctor every week. She's got her own companion this week. Well, in the spaceship, she's got her own companion anyway.
Yeah.
And she's also one thing about this scene. Clara, amazing. But what I don't get is a shielder. Like, you just saw the best warriors, the only warriors of your whole entire village get dissolved and then drunk by somebody. And you're going to declare war on him? When you probably don't even understand what the hell he just did.
Well, yeah, but A, she's a Viking and they've got that fighting spirit, and B...
And again, I say that Vikings were not that stupid.
No, but I think she misinterpreted what Clara was saying, because she kept saying, is this a war you really want?
Okay, Vikings, not that stupid. British Heritage theme park Vikings on Doctor Who, that's stupid.
Yeah, and
that I will take.
By the way, people were having such a stink about, they've got the horns on the helmets, it's not historically accurate.
Yeah, I heard about that too. God.
Jamie Mathieson actually addressed this in an interview. He said, I know it's not historically accurate, but it's what we're going with, so just deal with it, was his response.
There's also the problem
Doctor
where...
Who, accept it.
There's also the problem where if you just have people in armor, they're not going to know that they're Vikings right off the bat. You have the horns on the helmets, though. People will think, Vikings. They're Vikings.
Well, I'll devil's advocate this point and say that even if they didn't have the horns to say they're Vikings, the fact that the Doctor identifies them as Vikings, and every 2 seconds they shout, "We are Vikings!" would definitely help.
Yeah, that probably would help. Yes.
Yeah, but that would be more hammering it in. Because if you don't have the signs that they are Norse, they are Vikings, and they keep shouting, "I'm Viking!" then it's just like, okay, you're hammering it in. You're obviously not Vikings. Stop pretending. But if you have all this stuff around, including the incorrect horns on the helmet, then it's like, oh, they're Vikings. They're proud of who they are. They're declaring themselves to be Vikings.
Yeah. And then, as you say, once they get out of the spaceship, Clara once again goes back to doing comparatively little, but she still drives the story onwards. She obviously drives it onwards by saving a shielder and going to Valhalla, which isn't, but going to Valhalla. And then she drives it on again by being the Doctor's moral compass.
So there you go. She does fit a nice role in this episode. And a good role, too, other than punching bag for Michelle Gomez.
She's back on form.
You could also say she was more than just his moral compass. She was the one who motivated him.
Yeah.
There you go.
She was the whole reason that he decided to actually try and figure out a way to win.
You just decided to stay. I think you're absolutely right.
She did good in this episode. Jamie Mathieson,
very good.
His portrayal of Clara is very good. So how about that, a Shielder?
It's my turn to gush. Thank you, Jamie Mathieson, for writing the character of a Shielder in this way. You did good. You did more than good.
You did good, son. You did good.
You did good, son. You did more than good, son. This is a great character, or potentially, anyway, this is a great character. Obviously, we've got the story next week to really determine just how great she becomes, or not so. I mean, I could be setting us up for a fall here. But well, Maisie Williams is a hell of an actress for 18.
I haven't even seen Throny Game, but I liked her in this.
Throny Game. I've seen her in Cyberbully.
Okay, and now this is where we need to clarify that Rainiac is not talking about the ABC Family film starring Emily Osment.
No, I'm talking about the Channel 4 TV film starring Maisie Williams.
Yeah,
Maisie Williams can get the cap off, everyone.
Cap on the child lock cap on the pill bottle.
Oh God, I knew you were going to reference that.
Maisie Williams can get the cap off, everyone.
But yeah, I pretty much just straight up loved a Shielder, especially in the last 10-15 minutes of the episode. I love the scene where she's messing around with the puppet of Odin she's made.
She made that puppet pretty goddamn fast.
She did, in fact. You're right, because they had a day, didn't they? But she wasn't training. She wasn't actually training.
Yeah. She was still around with Clara, though.
That's true.
It could be that she already had a puppet. She just modified it a little bit. You know, put a helmet on it and all that stuff.
And this whole idea that a premonition is just like remembering in reverse, I love that. And
it definitely, if there are further things considering next week's episode, definitely sets up. It's a nice little clue and whatnot, something that you pick up on a rewatch and go, oh, that's what he meant. That is also what she said, I've always been strange. The girls all thought I was a boy, the boys thought I was just a girl. I know I'm strange. It's obvious. She's 18. She really looks 12. Well, she has got a baby face, but that does help her. It does. God. It helps her more in the next episode, I think, than it does this one. Oh, man, I'm so looking forward to that one. But so she's a baby face. Does that mean she's going to turn heel in the next one? Boo! Boo! And Kat is very confused at this moment. I'll explain it to you later. Okay. But, the narrative does a very good job in pointing out this character is different. I don't think we quite expect her to be that different by the end of the episode. But it's obvious this is not just your run-of-the-mill average village girl. There is something about her that's unique. Phil Sandford pointed out that the way Maisie Williams plays Shielder is a marked contrast to how she plays Arya Stark on Throny Game. So, for people who like that show and know her from it and are watching this, I guess there's that added little bit of subtlety to it. Like, oh... I'm calling it Throny Game from here on out, by the way. This is like that thing I like, but different. That's fantastic. How about that? I was a bit concerned she was just going to play Arya Stark again. And she didn't. Oh. I also don't watch Game of Thrones / Throny Game, but... that's good. I don't even know what Arya Stark acts like, so even if she did copy, I wouldn't have... I think she has a sword. She's a lot more complex than the girl that has a sword. Yeah,
I'm not going to go into the complexities of George R. R. Martin's characters, but suffice to say, she's very well fleshed out in that series, and she's probably...
I only know
Although,
two
can
things.
I say how funny it is, how amusing it is? I'm finally realizing this, that actress known for Game of Thrones appears in a Doctor Who episode called "The Girl Who Died."
and lives.
That
Carries
that's
on
doubly
living.
funny. That's doubly funny considering that George R. R. Martin is fucking kill happy.
Yes. I'm not
Yeah,
going to bring up
that's
the old
like
joke.
one of the only two things I know about Game of Thrones is that there's a throne made out of swords, which is extremely uncomfortable, and everybody keeps dying.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, the only other thing I want to mention about is Shielder, because the rest of it goes into the last 10 minutes, which we want to give its own little thing, because it deserves it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely deserves it. When she says to the Doctor, "You tell me to run, save myself. I tell you that leaving this place will be death itself." And in a roundabout way, that's exactly what the Doctor's just forced to happen.
Yeah, I've seen that point been made too, like on a Tumblr essay or something. I don't know,
And that's going to go somewhere to explaining the apparent change in her next week.
Oh yes.
Because this is not the same as Shielder, if you look at the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
Yes.
when he says, "This is your village and you will never have to leave it, I swear," again, doesn't mean to, but he's going to end up breaking that oath.
Yeah.
In a
So
roundabout
much-
kind of a way. But that's what I want to talk about her Shielder. I think she's a great character, and I think, depending on next week, she could go down as one of the better modern characters we've had.
We'll see if they can stick the landing.
I think she's got Best Guest Star award wrapped up, let's put it that way.
So, Odin and Lemire.
Oh boy.
They're okay. They're pretty hammy. I mean, I admit I found it kind of funny when the Doctor's yelling about being Odin, and then an actual goddamn face appears in the sky and declares that he's Odin. It reminded me a little too much of Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for. It's either that or Teletubbies.
I'm pretty sure with the beard and all, I'm thinking more Monty Python than Teletubbies.
Did you just compare it to Teletubbies?
The sun! The child in the sun!
Brainiac confirmed for John Sim.
Brilliant. Yeah, that entrance was pretty special with his head in the clouds. These guys were pure pantomime, weren't they?
Well, that they were kind of meant to be, which we'll get to.
Well, they almost had to be, I think, given the tone of the episode.
I mean, I on first watch, I honestly expected like Odin to be related to the Centaurans because all they were yelling about was war, 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 war. But it turns out they're just all bluster.
That would be a hell of a contest, the Maya against the Centaurans.
That's a fan story waiting to happen.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And am I right that they actually had to recast Odin? Yeah, Odin.
That apparently.
Apparently, he was originally going to be played by Brian Blessed.
No, you said his name wrong. You gotta.
Sorry, he was originally supposed to be played by Brian Blessed!
Thank you.
But he had to pull out at some point, so the role instead went to David Schofield. Now, no offense to Mr. Schofield, he did a fine job with what he was given. The role was pretty one-dimensional, I reckon by design, but I cannot look at him now and not think, would this have been better with Brian Blessed playing him?
Well, Brian Blessed does single-handedly elevate one of the stories of Colin Baker's final season into being the best one of that season.
Well, he does
Which
that.
really isn't saying much.
He does that. He's amazing.
It says a little more than you think.
At the same time, Odin's such a minor throwaway character that I kind of want Brian Blessed. I'm not going to shout it again. I kind of want Brian Blessed to be playing someone with a bit more, I don't know, importance.
Yeah, I mean, at least in my work, Brian Blessed got 100 minutes.
We're not going to remember Odin very much.
Yeah, because really the Mire, they were just there to feed the monster fleet, pretty much.
I mean, in this context, with a bunch of Vikings with absolutely no technology, they're pretty threatening. But in like any other context, these guys are an absolute joke.
Well, to take something from Kuchiri, what Kuchiri said, they were defeated by the Home Alone kid, pretty much.
They were defeated by what?
Home Alone.
The Home Alone kid.
Okay, that
it is a bit like that when he rigs up the electric current to the door.
I won't say that it was bad. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. But it does sort of take away from the threat of the monster.
Well, that's where I would argue that these monsters aren't really supposed to be. I mean, the episode does certainly build up the stakes that these things are going to kill everyone in the village, and the doctor doesn't really know what to do. But then we get to the resolution, and they really are just absolute jokes.
They really are.
They're all talk and no action, really. But again, I'm really going to gush about those last 10 minutes and the defeat of Odin and the Mire.
I will be honest with you. I think the Mire look pretty good. I think, again, they have the same problems the Fisher King did last week. They look good. They look good, but they're completely ineffectual.
The Fisher King looked a hell of a lot better than the Mire. I'll say that much.
Yeah, and what did I call the Mire joking last week with the Big Daddies from Bioshock? They're not quite like a Big Daddy.
Yeah.
They're a lot more boxy, although I do like their true forms underneath the suit.
Yeah, it's okay.
They're hideous. But that's why they hide them away.
It's a weird... Well, yeah.
And on first watch, Odin removed his face hologram to Ashilda and Clara. I thought he had no face.
Yeah, I'm rewatching. He's got a puffy lamp monster face, too.
I thought it was just rotted flesh, which, thinking about it, would be too macabre, even for a show shown at 9 p.m. But it was, of course, just the same... What was it? A space piranha creature thing?
Space leech.
Space leech. Whatever it was.
Space lamprey.
You could tell it was just another one of them. No, they were defeated by eels. They weren't eels themselves.
There you go.
But, yeah, it ties in with the storyline, though, that they're ineffectual because, of course, an army lives and dies on a reputation. And they've made themselves out to be this army of undefeatable badasses, for want of a better word. And they really aren't. But no one's been able to prove them otherwise. So they've been able to cultivate this reputation of being the deadliest race in the galaxy.
Okay.
That could be, like just them hot airing it up.
Well, it is.
I mean, I'm saying that, let's say that they don't attack anybody who's actually more powerful, and they only attack the little weaklings like the Vikings, who they know they can defeat. And that's why he gets so scared of Clara and her technology, because he doesn't know what they are. They might be stronger than him. He doesn't want to go up against them, but against some Vikings, he can totally do that.
The Sontarans these guys ain't, let's put it that way.
Here's another thing, too. They're basically like bullies, only picking on the weak. And
that's what I'm trying to say. They're exactly like bullies. That,
because they literally just drink manliness, in a sense.
Which is why they don't kill Clara or Shielder. Although he doesn't say that. He says it's the eye patch that's the part of the glasses that keeps them alive. But also the fact they've got no testosterone to give him.
Yeah. So they're drinking literal expectations of manliness and whatnot, which is in this green drought, and they're just like, we're strong, we like to fight, and then
yeah.
Actually, women do have testosterone. It's just in very small quantities.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
Considering the fact that they're seeking out actual warriors, like guys who fight for a living and whatnot, they're probably looking for a hell of a lot more testosterone.
I did not mean to upset any ladies that happen to listen to this. If you're listening, I apologize, but I just mean that typically men have a much higher level of testosterone, and that was what Odin the Mire wanted. That's all I meant.
Doctor Who doesn't really getting into gender politics that much. Jamie Mathieson didn't think too hard on it, and if you think enough on it, you could probably think of some stuff, but let's just take it at face value.
Let's not do that. Let's instead move on to the best part of this episode.
Oh, God. Okay.
Ironically, the ending of the episode.
Should I? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's something. That makes it sound bad. I liked it when it was over. But no.
It wasn't bad. It was awesome, but...
First off, the defeat of Odin and the Mire. Okay. So we had the Home Alone trap, which the Doctor cleverly discovered some electric eels, and he rigged up some electricity to fry half of their armor and create an electromagnet to knock off some of their helmets, which further led to the amazing bit where they stick a Mire helmet on a Shieldor, and the Shieldor uses one of her puppets and creates the image of a dodgy CGI snake to scare the Odin and the Mire away.
It's not that dodgy.
Well, I say dodgy because a lot of people have made the joke that it's a CGI snake that then turns into a model. So the joke is that a Shieldor is invoking Kinda and the Mara.
I like that joke. I'll go with that joke, yeah.
I will say one thing. During this bit with the helmet, Kachiri said he had a problem with the phrase reversing the polarity of the neutron flow.
Are you kidding me?
Which hold on, I just found out that is a phrase that's been said many times in Doctor Who, beginning with the Third Doctor.
Yes.
Well,
that
actually,
is
he only
correct.
said it twice.
I'll say this. John Pertwee only actually said reverse the polarity of the neutron flow in full twice. But there's a bunch of times where he's basically filling the thing and he said, I reversed the polarity, so it should work now. But it's basically like a catchphrase of classic Doctor Who, and it's been repeated many times. To have an issue with it now, that's kind of silly.
It was a shout out to Third Doctor fans, and I personally loved it.
It'd be like complaining about, I don't know, any other running Doctor Who gag.
I mean, like a Cherry does all the time.
It'd be like if the Doctor said the TARDIS is bigger on the inside, complaining about that.
Oh God, let's not go into that, please.
It's like, it's just a thing that gets said a lot in Doctor Who. It's a tentpole catchphrase of the show.
But yeah, the Maya's defeat at the hands of a Shielder is amazing.
I'm getting off topic here, but what I loved about this, because this episode, the reason I loved it is it resonated so much with me, with all the things I love my Doctor Who to be, is that the Mire, a big monster that is all about war and fighting, is not beaten by beating the shit out of them. They're beaten by ideas and creativity. They're beaten by an idea. A Shielder makes an idea and scares them off. And that's further compounded by the fact that the Doctor comes in and then basically says that he's beating them by having a better reputation than them, and that he recorded the entire goddamn bit of them pissing themselves in fear over a puppet, and then sets the fucking thing to Boots Randolph's yakety sax.
I never
For those
thought,
who don't know, that's the Benny Hill theme.
I never thought I'd live to see the day when the Benny Hill theme would play during a Doctor Who episode. And not only is this effective in the context, it was one of the biggest laughs of the entire thing.
It's beautiful.
My parents do not watch this show. They saw it and they couldn't stop laughing either. They thought it was absolutely hilarious.
This also calls back to the idea that the Myra are more bullies than they are actual warriors.
The aliens are defeated.
They get scared by a dodgy CGI snake rather than, actual might.
It's better than that. The aliens are defeated by space YouTube.
Yeah. The Doctor basically bullies the bullies and finds another way to beat them, and they swan off.
Unfortunately,
that is the beauty of Doctor Who to me. But unfortunately, narrative collapse. There must be a cost. A Shieldor has somehow died from channeling that dodgy CGI snake.
According to this, the helmet caused her heart to fail.
Yeah, he used her like a battery. Which is callous, but I don't think that was intentionally his plan. It just sort of happened. And surprisingly, Clara takes it okay. She's like, she just died. There's nothing you could have done about it. And this causes an absolutely amazing moment.
Oh, yes. I mean, this is basically... You figure this is how the episode's going to go. Oh, okay, that's the girl who died. The Doctor's going to be sad. And Capaldi does get an amazing scene where he says he's tired of losing people, which, very Doctor Who. We've heard this before. It's part and parcel of the show.
He specifically says that he's tired of losing. And then Clara comes in and says, you can't save everybody. You won.
You didn't lose. You
didn't lose the war. And he's like, no, you don't really understand.
And then he goes over to the eels.
And it's the scene that shouldn't have worked at all, but it completely did.
I've said this before. I've written it. And I've said it. If you had spoiled for me an hour before the episode aired that this episode was going to address why the Doctor now looks like that asshole David Tennant saved him today, I would have thought it would have been the dumbest, most ridiculous bit of fan wank ever. You absolutely don't need to explain that. You didn't explain why the Doctor, when he was Colin Baker, looked like Commander Maxwell the Guard. You had to throw a line about how Freema Agyeman looked like a lady who died in the Battle of Canary Wharf. And you didn't explain why Karen Gillan looks like in suits there. So why would you even bother with this? But here's why you would bother with this. Because you somehow take that moment where the Doctor saved one person in a fixed point in time, and you make it thematically relevant to this situation, a reverse, a mirror, if you will, and note that it's the Doctor looking at his own reflection that triggers this.
You and your
The
fucking
situation-
mirrors.
They put that in just to please you, by the way.
Yeah, me and Jane Campbell. But this is a situation where everybody lived except one person, whereas in Pompeii, everyone died except one person. So it's the Doctor reminding himself of that, and then he knows what he has to do.
The fact that in the grand scheme of things, even when all the chips are down and it seems like everything's going wrong, he still can save at least one person.
Of course, whether or not he did the right thing here has yet to remain to be seen.
Oh, I don't think he did at all. I think he knows it.
Oh, he did. Oh, he absolutely did. But what he did is he reprograms one of the Myers-like repair technology chips from the helmet, sticks it into a shield door, and revives her. Well, and swans off, leaving her another chip. Now, what he's done is he's functionally made her immortal in the process of saving her. Which at the end of the episode, he muses, I was kind of too emotional there. I probably fucked up.
Well, he didn't say that, but yeah.
Well, he didn't.
He said, I might have just made a terrible mistake.
He definitely fucked up.
I might have made a terrible mistake, even a tidal wave.
But at least he did leave another chip. He thought that far ahead, because he has that wonderful line where he says, immortality isn't living forever. It's watching everyone around you die.
Oh my god, that's profound.
Because, well, the Doctor would know. 2,000 years of the companion's age. We've dealt with this before, but the way Capaldi does it is so great. And then we get the shot that Kat absolutely loved.
Seconded.
Okay, Kat, you can gush this time. You haven't gushed yet.
So I have this weird thing about death, where death is final. Death is always going to come. You can't escape it. And the fact that people always try to escape it by going, trying to become immortal, it baffles me. Why would you ever want to do that? And it is perfectly represented here in this scene with the shielder. She's standing on, I think, like a field or a hill or something, and you can just see the sky and a bit of a tree line around her. And it starts off with her smiling. She's smiling into the camera. She's alive. She's with all of her friends. Everybody's still alive. And then the camera slowly revolves around her as the sky changes. And as it gets back to her side, you can see her face has changed. She's sad now. She's miserable now. And then it changes again.
Oh my god.
Pure, utter hostility.
Sinister is not the word for this.
While an explosion plays behind her.
Directed by Michael Bay.
It's the perfect representation for how fucked up immortality is.
Yeah.
It's not just her realizing that she's immortal. It's the fact that she's realizing everything else is going to change around her and she's going to stay the same. She can't make friends because they're going to die. She can't have kids because they're going to die. Even if she does happen to find somebody to give the other chip to, there's still the fact that everybody around them is going to continue to die.
Yeah.
She is, in a sense, utterly and completely alone now.
And this isn't so much a everybody lives episode as everybody dies except the shielder.
And it's all the Doctor's fault.
And that's terrible. And that's going to have so profound consequences, I reckon, next week.
Yeah.
My God. And also, I will join Kat in gushing about that 360 panorama shot as it loops around. Maisie Williams' acting here is amazing.
She does it all with her face.
Body
They
language
didn't say
and facial expressions.
a single thing through this scene. They just showed it. And that is 10 times more profound than anything they ever could have said.
And shout out to Murray Gold, the soundtrack as well.
10 times more profound than talking about Beethoven and bootstraps.
I'm a sucker for any scene where the actor or actress is able to convey so much just using facial expressions and body language. It worked in Utopia when Yana opens the watch and he just turns around, you know instantly this is not the same man. And it works here. This is not the same woman. She's not no longer the girl who died. She truly is the woman who lived.
Nice
Just
segue.
the sky changing so rapidly, her face just, as soon as you see her face is completely different, and then it slowly falls even more.
It's amazing.
And it's just a perfect scene. Maisie, kudos. That is the best thing.
Yeah, two
Kudos.
thumbs up to Maisie Williams.
Two thumbs up to Jamie Mathieson. You wrote this thing, and it was incredible. And the director too, because
Two thumbs up to everybody. This shouldn't have worked.
But it
But it
completely
did.
did.
Look at the
Holy
constituent
crap.
parts. None of this should have worked. And the line about "I'm the Doctor and I save people" that sounded so cheesy in the pre-series trailer. And here it works in proper context. And one more thing I want to point
I'm going to
out.
do something that I never thought I'd do. Stephen Moffat.
Yeah, because he
Oh my
co-wrote
God.
it. He co-wrote it.
Yeah, well,
I love you so much right now.
Oh, one more thing that we can gush about. Apparently, this has to do with the hybrid, which means that this series probably doesn't have a dumb puzzle box. It would have been so easy to have Maisie Williams show up at the end of The Witch's Familiar and go, "You'll pay for what you've done, Doctor." And then have everyone on the internet say, "She's Susan, she's the Ronnie, she's this, she's that," only for it to be like the most
I don't know if
obvious answer.
she's the hybrid. She's a hybrid.
But you see
And
the
it's
point.
kind of funny. This is also a mirror of Davros's reveal.
Yeah,
Hey!
mirrors all over the damn shop.
I didn't even notice that. Now you're pointing out the mirror shit too.
But I do think that with the just the look of sheer sinisterness on her face,
Hatred,
and
hostility.
then you've got the explosion behind her, directed by Michael Bay, and that might suggest that this is a very pivotal moment in the show's history. We still don't know who Shielder is going to be, but I think it's safe to say she's going to have a big impact. She may even be the series arc. She may even be the series villain.
It's possible.
We don't know yet.
That would be a hell of a thing. I mean,
Always does.
you introduce the villain this way, and we would be utterly sympathetic towards her cause.
She doesn't seem to be a villain next week, but she seems to be making a darker turn.
She's definitely the anti-hero.
Yeah,
I would definitely be okay with.
She's
her
gone
being
from
the series villain.
heroic character to anti-hero, or she will be anti-hero next week. Maybe she takes a turn into even darker shades.
We'll find out
Really?
next week.
I can't blame her.
Yeah, but overall, that's the best episode of Series 9 to date. You've already said that. Some are calling it Capaldi's best episode of all time. I'm not going to say that till I've seen Series 9 in full.
I don't think I would go that far, because Listen, Mummy, Flatline are still very, very good.
And I just want to point two more things out quickly before we go on to next week's trailer.
Okay.
This was a comedic romp on the face of it. Underneath all that, we've got a very powerful, emotional story, and it just clicks. And surely, in its own way, this episode is a hybrid.
Oh, you're clever. You clever, clever.
I like to
man.
think I am. And also, Jamie Mathieson for showrunner.
Yes.
Well, he's 3 for 3. Well, then again, Moffat was 3 for 3 at this point too, right?
Don't care,
So-
Jamie Mathieson for showrunner.
Okay.
Jamie
So next-
Mathieson,
so,
2016.
So next week, The Woman Who Died. We got what?
Woman
I don't
who
even know what this-
lived.
The woman who lived.
Yeah.
You've
okay.
done my thing.
Blah, 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 blah. The Woman Who Lived. You've got. All I remember is Flintlock, and Maisie Williams in the Mask.
Yeah, it's set in, I think it's 1651.
Yes.
She's a highwayman, or highwaywoman, but they didn't really have those in 1651.
Okay.
And we got it to be a continuous screen at the end of the episode, but this is not your traditional two-parter. It's a completely different writer for a start. Catherine Tregenna. Catherine Tregenna.
What has she done on the show?
She's done Torchwood. Before that puts you off, one of the episodes she did was voted the best one of Series 1. It's called Out of Time. It's about 3 people who come through a rift in the 1950s and struggle to adjust to modern day life. And one of them kills himself, one of them tries to fly back into the rift to get back to where they are, and one of them manages it. One of them manages to adjust.
So this is her element, so to speak. You're saying?
I hope so.
Okay.
It's a bit of a baptism of fire, given what she's got to follow, but I have faith. And there's no Clara in the trailer, so we might be getting a companion-light episode. Perhaps even the Doctor will be actually a Shielder's companion. That would be cool.
That would be interesting.
Flip the script completely. But we're going to get a lot more Maisie Williams, and that's no bad thing. And also, sorry, Kachiri, the Sonic glasses are back. Do you hear that? Kachiri, they're laughing at you, not with you.
Now I am evil Homer dancing on the grave.
I don't know how they're back, but they're back. Maybe he just gets another pair out of the TARDIS console. But anyway, that was the girl who died. That was fantastic, and next week we're hoping for more of the same.
All right.
And
So-
Don't fuck it up.
And so we will see you next week to review The Woman Who Lived. And until then, bye for now.
Hey, you're stealing my host job.
No, sorry, I took it back.
Oh.
Did you not read the fine print of the contract?
Hang on here. Hang on. Son of a bitch!
Sucks to be you. Until next week, everybody. Bye for now.